With the new Monster Hunter game coming out in a year, people are very excited. And not only that, they've been starting to play the other Monster Hunter games again. A lot of people are playing Monster Hunter World. I'm playing Monster Hunter World. It's been awesome, and it's a great game. But while I was playing it, because I have played this game before, and I quit. Not because it was a bad game, but because I don't know, I need the MMO aspect of it. I need the permanence. I need to know that this is worth my time. I know it's kind of stupid, because you should play video games for fun. But I've always had this little thing of, I beat the game and I'm done with it. But I kind of want it. I kind of want more sometimes. Okay, I want it to keep going. I want my efforts to be rewarded kind of forever, right? That's why I like MMOs so much, because my character is there and it'll stay there, and everything I have achieved in this game will stay there. And I've always thought that Monster Hunter World, or honestly, all of them, kind of work very similarly to an MMO, but there's just not as much permanence to it as other games, as other MMOs. And I thought, man, I think Monster Hunter would be a very, very, very good MMO. It already has a lot of those, features that would make it a good MMO. It just doesn't have enough. Usually, MMOs and converting a game into an MMO has disadvantages. I don't think Monster Hunter would have those disadvantages. I think they already have them. They're just not capitalizing on all the positives they could get. And that's what I'm gonna have to prove in this video to you. That Monster Hunter World, not only it should have more MMO type things, it should be an MMO. At least a multiplayer or role-playing game. Maybe not a massive one, but a multiplayer one, like, I don't know, like Destiny, like Guild Wars 1, like all of these games. Subscribe to the channel for more content like this. Let's get into it. Why is Monster Hunter already pretty good in terms of how an MMO works? You already play with other people. You have lobbies that you play with, 3 or more other people to destroy the monsters. There's coordination with your allies. There's communication. You have different ways of, saying different things depending on what you need in the fight. Shortcuts. You also have voice activate. You can talk to them with your voice, right? You can queue in with them. You can invite them over. You invite your friends. Create your lobbies. It has meaningful rewards that signify what you killed, to show the people, hey, I killed this boss. I farmed this boss. I'm an expert at this boss. Yes, of course, because of that, passion that you can combine different pieces in order to look better. Yes, more social features as well in gathering hubs, when people can see each other, they can talk to each other, can hang out, you can invite people to your house that you have decorated with your items that you have gathered through all of your fights, and show them, hey, I did this, I got this in this place. You have festivals that keep the game fresh, because, well, even though the game might be great, you kind of want to change certain things in order to have a bit of a fresh, new content, new things to do, not do the same thing over and over again, right? And already, if you listen to all these things, I bet you're thinking, wow, this game does sound like an MMO. You have all these interesting things, ways to interact with each other, things to farm, things to grind, a world, bosses, everything. But why is it already not an MMO? Well, it's because of a few things. First of all, the gathering hubs are not that good. You're not always gonna find people, even when you're searching around and creating your creating your armor, your weapons, talking to NPCs, crafting, all these things. Usually in MMOs, you would see people around you doing the same things. In Monster Hunter, you will either in your own lobby, but most of the time they won't be, because you have to invite them over. And sometimes they will match up to you, but most likely that just won't happen. At least when I'm playing, even though the game is kind of popping off, I almost never see people unless I invite them from chat or they're my friends, right? And this means that even though there's a lot of social things that you can do in the game, it ends up feeling very like a single player game with social features that you won't interact with too much. And that feeling can't happen in an MMO. There are MMOs that honestly don't have that many social features, not that many, and there's not that many times where you actually interact with people, but because you see people around, it feels like it isn't. It feels like you're not alone. In Monster Hunter, you do feel pretty alone, which I think is a problem, and a problem that honestly, even if Monster Hunter World didn't become an MMO, should be fixed. There's no reason why you shouldn't be able to see more people. There's no reason why this wouldn't be a positive overall for the people who play the game. Mods are too powerful. It's okay if you have mods that make you look like a fucking, a badass, guy with a huge sword, or maybe you change the colors of your armor, maybe there's more monsters, who knows, whatever, they make with monsters. If you want to have big titties or whatever, there's, sure, that's fine. If you want to have that, right? Whatever. But the fact that there's mods that essentially make you unlock every one of the weapons, every one of the armors, every item, to skip progression, or sometimes even get items that do way more damage than they should, it makes the game way less serious. And it makes the items in the game way less meaningful. In an MMO, these things should be important. It should, when you see someone with an item, you should know, hey, they got it from this. No, you shouldn't have this little thing, this little thing in your mind, be like, oh, did they get it or did they mod it? You shouldn't have that question in your mind. You should always know what it is. And it really sucks that this game goes so hard with mods, when honestly, it already is an online game, and these things the game is trying to make you care about them, and then you can just skip them by doing this kind of stuff. I know a lot of people don't do it, but that little, question in your mind is not a good thing. Even if this is not an MMO, even if you don't want Monster Hunter World to be an MMO, this is a thing that would be better for the game if they change it. It's okay, as I said before, if you have cosmetics, mods, or all this other stuff, it's fine. But don't make it so you can literally just one-shot a monster that most people would take a lot of time to actually progress through and kill. The last thing I think that really would make Monster Hunter a real good MMO, that really would mean a lot to me, and honestly I guess it is a bit of a personal preference, would be the permanence. When I play an MMO, I know that the things I collect and I get will be there forever, and they will be kind of relevant forever. And the fact that I know that there's another Monster Hunter game that's gonna come out later, and all the progress that I had will be lost, makes me care less. It makes me be like, why do I collect it even anyways, if I just gotta lose it. I know that not everyone feels that way, but in an MMO, it is important for you to have this. Maybe you can make it so in the next Monster Hunter World, maybe you can make it so in the next Monster Hunter game, you have all of those pieces as cosmetics in the new game, so hey bro, I got this from the other game. Do you remember? And that way, they can keep getting money from making more Monster Hunter games over and over again. I know the skill kind of is still there because it's Monster Hunter, the abilities, the knowledge will stay there, of course, but it would be nice if you could collect this. The other thing would be just to have a permanent game forever where, with the same engine, that, gets updated with more expansions and more expansions and more expansions forever and ever and ever. But I guess Monster Hunter is not like that, and people like the fact that you can change, you change aesthetics, you change places, you change games, and I can respect that. But if you had some sort of thing that proves that, hey, I played this other game and everything that I got there matters, I think it would be very cool. And I think it would make people also want to buy and play the older games. Seems like a win-win to me. And that's what I think. That's why I think that, honestly, all the things that Monster Hunter is missing to become an MMO would be positive things for the game anyways, and why it would be one of the most epic MMOs ever. A game where not only you have permanence over all of your things, and all of the items you have collected, but also you can play with other people in a coordinated way while not being too difficult and weird as something like WoW mythic, but also still meaningful, because not only you killed all bosses, but you got that gear, you got that armor, and you represent, by wearing this, that you have killed that boss, and you're a badass, and you are cool because you did it. And that's cool. And then you go to your, house with your decorations and hang out with your friends, just like you do in something like Final Fantasy 15, and you're happy. And then, after a while, you go with your friends and go kill another monster. Thank you very much for watching, guys. See you guys around. Tell me if I'm wrong, or you have any other ideas that would go positive for Monster Hunter. See you guys around. Love you all. Bye bye.